Is the recall a healthy democratic safeguard or a threat to good government? Serious thinkers line up on both sides, and the debate is genuinely unresolved. Start with the case in favor. The most basic argument is popular sovereignty. In a democracy, officials get their authority from the consent of the governed, and the recall lets citizens withdraw that consent without waiting years for the next election. It shrinks what we might call the accountability gap, the stretch of time during which a failing official simply can't be removed. In a state as large as California, where one official's decisions affect tens of millions, that's a meaningful power. Some theorists go further, describing the recall as a tool of democratic self-defense, a way for majorities to remove officials who are undermining democratic norms without resorting to the heavier machinery of impeachment or prosecution. From this view, the absence of any required grounds for recall is a feature, not a flaw, because it preserves maximum flexibility for popular judgment. Now, the case against the deepest objection goes back to Edmund Burke's classic argument for representative government. Officials are elected to exercise their own judgment in the public interest, not just to follow the polls. If the constant threat of recall forces them to make only immediately popular decisions, it can chill exactly the kind of bold, long-term policymaking that effective governance requires. A related concern is partisan instrumentalization. The progressive vision imagined the recall as a nonpartisan check on misconduct, but in practice it's become a tool readily available to well-funded interest groups and parties. The Roberti recall by the gun lobby, the recalls of Horcher and Allen over a speaker vote, the nationally financed Newsom campaign, all show the mechanism deployed as political retribution rather than genuine accountability. Critics argue California's relatively low signature thresholds leave it especially vulnerable to professional, well-funded signature drives that don't reflect real popular majorities. And the special worry, again, is judges. The accountability norms that fit elected politicians may be flatly incompatible with the independence norms that impartial judging requires. There's also a populism dimension. The recall frames everything as a binary, retain or remove, which can flatten complex governance questions into a simple us versus them story. But defenders point out that recall campaigns force officials to publicly defend their record, which can actually improve democratic deliberation. So where does that leave us? The history suggests the recall is neither the pure safeguard its designers imagined, nor the pure menace its critics fear. It's a contingent institution, and its effects depend almost entirely on context: who funds it, how the official's base responds, and whether voters can tell legitimate accountability from partisan opportunism